Welcome to MONOGAMISH, the show where we describe with fullness and clarity the true nature of all, yes, I said all, modern relationships in today's matriarchy. I am Douglas Aleutian, author of the forthcoming textbook, MONOGAMISH, How the Matriarchy Came to Rule the World. The main focus of this content that I am trying to reach people with is on how to survive and thrive in the loneliness epidemic, dystopian, apocalyptic future that we are currently all living through now and is only getting worse. What is the loneliness epidemic, you say? Well, everybody pretty much has these issues nowadays. Anxiety, depression, fear of the future, brokenness, dysregulated nervous systems, broken relationships, alienation from family, siloed in your own echo chamber, and yet at the same time alone in the scary world. That is why I'm doing this. We are all out there alone thinking we are the only one suffering, but we are not alone. We blame ourselves for being faulty, maladjusted, any of a million dysfunctions that we are gaslighted with, when it is the system we are living in, not us, that is creating this. We are not a screwed up, unique minority. We are the norm and the majority. This problem of the loneliness epidemic is not a glitch. It is the system design. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Today, I'm going to discuss a brief update on my channel. What has been happening with YouTube, with hate speech warnings and appeals? To me, yes. A little disclaimer I have to give. This information in this video is for educational and documentary purposes. It's to look at creator transparency. I am not trying to repost anything here that YouTube has removed. I am not arguing with YouTube's community guidelines. I am only seeking clarity so that I can follow the rules YouTube has in place. And clarity is what I don't have. So, what are these hate speech warnings, strikes, and appeals? I'm going to try to describe to you and educate you the real situation that I'm even facing right now as a content creator, and clear up misconceptions that I hear from a lot of people that can lead to erroneous conspiracy theories. You might ask where I've been the last few weeks with no new videos released. Well, I did release a video, and I think it was one of the best videos that I've done to date, really. It was an interview with two 35-year-old millennial women on how life is for them in their current epiphany phase, where they have gone from playing the field, getting a degree, getting a career, to now realizing that they want a relationship that will last. They want to settle down, getting wifed up. It's all about what was going on in the modern dating world for women in that age group. This video was taken down and removed from YouTube, resulting in a warning to my channel. Now, I thought this video was very fair. I thought it was actually quite tame, giving both a woman and a man's perspective on modern dating. Probably more heavily weighted to the woman's side, if anything, since there was two of them and one of me. I don't understand where there was any place in that video that would have contained anything that could have been construed as hate speech towards any protected group. I checked very closely before I hit the publish button to make sure that I follow all of YouTube's community guidelines. I am very conscious of this and work very hard to make sure that I'm in compliance. But it was taken down by YouTube before it was even premiered. I uploaded it the night before, which was on the 1st of January, the day that we recorded it, to post the next morning as a premiere at 8:30 a.m. West Coast. When I awoke to check the premiere, I found that I had received a warning and it was taken down overnight, and hate speech was cited as the reason.
Okay, now I want you to look at this very closely. Up in the top right-hand corner, you'll notice there's a timestamp, and it says 3:28 a.m. So what that means is that this video was flagged by the bots. It wasn't a human reporting or anything like that. This happened before the video went live in the 8:30 a.m. premiere that I had it set for. It happened overnight, and the bots flagged it.
Now, this is the third video in a row that this happened to me. The first two were ruminating dread of love lost and black pill leads to white. This same process happened to me with those also. You might not be aware of that. But with both of these, I clicked the appeal button because I couldn't find anything where they were showing me. And they did show me like a time in the video where they flagged it and thought that it was against the rules. And so I appealed it, and those appeals were approved both times. My first two times that this happened. I thought, well, maybe the AI, I know there's having AI do checks, we don't really know how much of or what the details of that are, but I thought maybe they mistakenly flagged it. And when they allowed the appeals, I felt relieved. Now, this third video in a row that had been flagged, called Paris and Diana Epiphany Phase Blues, I awoke to it being taken down. I appealed it because I thought it was wrongly taken down. And there was no timestamp on it. This is key to the whole thing. It was just when you click on the email, it takes you to a screen where they're showing you the options, and the time is at 0. So it doesn't have any way to tell you where it is supposedly in violation. And knowing every word that's said in there pretty clearly, I I went for the appeal, and about an hour later, I received appeal denied and video removed. This is a warning on my account. Now, I'm not trying to be adversarial here. I'm trying to work with YouTube on their terms. After all, YouTube has all the power. I have none. I understand that. I'm trying to comply with all of their terms, but it is confusing to do. I'm trying to understand, and it's not that I'm not a smart guy or I can't get it. I'm in agreement that there needs to be community standards and that hate speech should not be allowed. So we're on the same page as far as what our goals are. And YouTube says that they want to make sure that you understand clearly as we're partners together to create good content. But somehow I've violated this policy. And they're not telling me where, just the whole video, which, like I said, is mild. So when this happens, it's really confusing, especially since they don't tell you where it was that there was a violation. They send you this email, they ask you to check it out, but they don't show you where the violation is. Before, they did show me in the previous warnings. This third time, no timestamp, so I guess they're saying it's the whole video. But that doesn't make sense. There's nothing in there that I can see that's promoting hate to a protected group that I can find. And I listened to it like 3 times over. So then you really start second guessing yourself and becoming paranoid. What could it be? Is there something I don't get? Where is the issue? This is where anxiety, panic attack, walking on eggshells comes into play. Because you don't know what you have done wrong, but you are being punished anyways. Let's back up. Punished from what? You know, what is really the punishment? Do you know how much time, money, and energy was spent on this video? And it was some of my best work. I was really excited about people being able to see this. I had to buy special equipment to record 3 people. I agonized over this. I brought over equipment from my friend's house that has a music recording studio. I'm talking like a whole soundboard. I tried to set up like all these mics in my house, cameras, lighting, a whole scene like they do on some other podcasts where they have, multiple people on there at the same time. That's very challenging to do. For one, I'm just totally new at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out, right? I did painstaking research on, how to do that. And after I set all that up, it had a lot of problems. I mean, it's hard to record one video with one speaker. Let me tell you, I've had a lot of problems with that. Doing 3 speakers at the same time, that's really something. And I finally decided to go for these microphones that you can buy. Here they are, right here. So I bought these off of Amazon, and you see it's a set of 4, and they all go to one receiver, and you plug that into your computer, and they have some kind of built-in chips that take out the cross noise. And I decided to try these. This might be an easy solution. And they work great, and they're wireless and nice little package. And, you see these on people, they're everywhere now. People are using them as regular mics instead of a professional mic like this is. And they work great for, mobile applications. And for this, it totally worked. And so I set my whole house up. I stayed up all night on New Year's Eve by myself. Look, I have options. I could have been doing something else. And but no, I have priorities too. You are my priority, really. And the fireworks were going off all around my house. It was a war zone while I was setting up gear and fine-tuning it. I had to get catering and make sure that everything was needed, that we needed for the guest comfort was prepared. And even last minute in the morning, my friend Jared was, he was taking all the stuff out and making like charcuterie boards and drinks on ice. And because we had the two girls and then me and Jared, my friend, he did the producing. And I had to get a producer to monitor things while we're recording, to make sure, and there were problems, lucky we handled it and we pulled it off. And we did this all day on New Year's Day at my house. And it was really fun. And it's just a fantastic conversation that we had. And after multiple takes and all day of recording, then I stayed up all night on New Year's Day to edit it and get it ready for YouTube, to get it ready to post, to make all the final checks, make sure everything was right, all the little edits, and make sure that it's not in violation of any prohibited content, then downloading, uploading, making the thumbnails, all these things that go into making a video that I actually, I'm coming to enjoy it. And I want to, make a really good product for you. And one other thing is Paris and Diana, I had been working on getting them for literally a year, right? They was, they traveled all the way Portland up to, where I am and in the weather, in all the winter madness, and did this on New Year's. And so, it wasn't just me and my friend Jared. We all, were putting out great effort to do this, and also great caution went into preparing this properly for YouTube. And I continue to take great caution preparing things so that they're appropriate and on point. And but then, they just take it down and they don't tell me why. That's what happened. And talk about, you don't even know what to feel at first when that happens. And so I scramble the internet looking for answers. What did I do wrong? I find videos that say, if your appeal is denied, that's because that's the big question, what can I do? Now my video's gone, and I can't have it on here, and it's a great video, and what do I do? Like, I'm just out of options, and I don't know why. So I find this that says that you can, on the internet, I found this, that you go, because this happens to a lot of people, I'm not the only one. You go to X, formerly Twitter, to communicate with Team YouTube. That's one option. There's another option that you can go on their feedback, and you can give them feedback. So that's two. Now, the main one, though, that people say, if you're getting a warning and your appeal is denied, to go to Twitter, right? Or X is what it's called now, which surprises me, so I got to go to X to communicate with YouTube. I mean, I would think they would have it there. It's really weird, but you do. Yeah, it's interesting. You go to X, and so I do that. I have an X account, and I've actually set that X account up as my main way of communicating with the public. So please go follow my X account. It's in the description and links. It's at Douglas Aleutian. It's pretty simple. And so I go there and I message Team YouTube in there. And I waited on bated breath for days. And they did get back with me, fairly quickly. And they said, we're looking into this. So I had a little bit of hope that, okay, well, maybe a person, that's what I'm thinking, that we need a person to look into this, and they'll look at my video and realize it's not hate speech. And they asked me, hey, can you send us some information, and I did. I sent them, I described that I don't know what is supposedly hate speech in here. I can't find it. Maybe you can tell me, I can fix it. I got no problem with that, like if there's, because I don't want to be doing hate speech anyways, right? And so I would be happy to fix it and make it, take out the parts that they don't like or whatever. But I don't know what the problem is. And they have a training that you take. And I did that. I did that twice, because I was waiting before for the appeals. And it has 7 questions that helps you figure out what hate speech is. And the first time I got 6 out of 7 right, and they let you, fix your mistakes, and I got 7. And the second time I did it when this happened also, and I got 7 out of 7 right. So I think I understand what YouTube defines as hate speech. It is really about this one sentence. It's not that complicated, really, and I want to clear this up for a lot of people that think it's a moving target. And I mean, I can understand where you come up with that idea, because I don't know what I did wrong, but the concept isn't hard to understand. I really think that this is the core of it. We don't allow content that promotes violence or hatred against individuals or group based on any of the following attributes which indicate a protected group status under YouTube's policy. So it's against promoting violence or hatred against individuals that are in this protected class, one of these protected classes. That's the deal. Can't do that. Okay, I get that. I don't even really want to promote hate against anyone, to tell you the truth, let alone a protected class. And so I don't think it's too hard to understand. I think I get it. I took the test properly. I passed. Don't promote hatred or violence against a protected group. My video was about dating. Lifestyle, choosing or coming to choose to date for marriage intentionally, dating with intention, as opposed to just for fun. What men want from women in that kind of sector, and what women want from men. I think one of the big problems is those two don't line up very good. Why they're not meeting up. We talked about dogs. There was a dog in the video. Clothes. The proposition of never settling down, never having a family, and never having kids. I mean, it's all pretty standard issue stuff. It's really not hateful or promoting hate or violence. I mean, especially violence. Towards any protected group. I mean, I can really say it's not there, and maybe there's something that they construed, that was misunderstood, that was, maybe some part in there. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I listened to it 3 times carefully since then to try to understand, and I was actually entertained all 3 times listening to myself interview. And so they haven't given me any information on what specifically was in there. And in that, contacting them on X, I wanted to give them, before, that's why I haven't made another video or anything. I wanted to, give them a chance to tell me what the issue was. And, but they told me they reviewed it and that, they think that there's still hate speech in it, and they didn't tell me what it was. And they stopped responding after that. And I did, I left the last, message to them that, hey, if you could tell me, it would really be helpful where specifically it was, and they haven't gotten back to me. And I have posted the video on my X also to get to ask people if they can tell me, what they think is hateful there. Nobody's really come up with anything that we think is promoting hatred or violence against a protected group. It's just not obvious at all. I'm new to YouTube. I've only been like a month, right? And my channel, I thought, was doing pretty good. I got like 1,000 subscribers in a month. That's and thank you. Yeah, I'm so grateful to have you, and I hope to have a lot more. Now I don't know what to think now, though. I'm a little bit concerned about what's going on. I'm walking on eggshells, and I don't really know what the boundaries are, even though I know what the boundaries are. But apparently, even then, I there's something I didn't get there. And I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. The feeling that there's this unknown problem, it brings up, all this confusion, anxiety, hypervigilance, panic, abandonment, canceling, basically all the feelings that come up in a toxic relationship. And I've been in plenty of those. And so I'm very familiar with these feelings, and it's luckily I can handle it. I'm a big boy, and I'm trying to work through it. It's the unknown nature of the problem that makes it so difficult, and it makes for this kind of crazy making that I will just be discarded, canceled, blamed, and it leads to a form of gaslighting. Actually, I say gaslighting because it is the intention of gaslighting to instill a sense of crazy making in the subject. So what crazy making is where the subject starts to doubt themselves. The subject for the target begins to think that he might be the problem, but they don't really know why. Maybe it's fault with me, but I really don't. I mean, does this sound familiar? And yeah, I just, it's not just me. It could have been the two women that I had in there that were friends of mine that I was interviewing. I thought they were really tame, and they didn't say anything that I thought would be hate speech. It's just so extreme, this hate speech. And it really sounds bad. And it leaves you with this crazy making feeling that everything is quicksand in every direction, because I don't really know what they found that was a problem. So, yeah, the thing that confuses me is there's a stated value. YouTube says they really want you to be able to understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. But the actions don't match that when they cite you, and then they don't tell you what you're being cited for. So how are you supposed to really be able to tell? So I do want to work with YouTube. I'm not, whatever happens with them, it is what it is. And they're the best platform out there right now. And so, and I, excuse me, I really think that I reached out to them on X with their team YouTube, and I really tried to tell them that that I want to work with them to make content that is within their guidelines. And I explained that to them in my statements on X. And I kind of feel like I'm being targeted, though, because I see a lot of other content creators who they seem to have much more extreme stuff that's being allowed on just all the time. I was watching videos today that were, kind of blowing my mind. And now I look at videos and I'm like, well, God, I don't say anything like that. And they're allowed, I'm trying to follow the rules, and I'm being punished. But I understand that, other people have been punished too, and I'm not the only one. But if there's a problem, I would gladly fix it, and I'm just not told what the problem is. I do believe a mistake was made. But if there is a problem, I would like to know what it is and have the opportunity to fix it. And so, my intention is not to post on other platforms. I want to be a successful YouTube creator, and I want to be respectful of the community guidelines. I will post on other platforms too, but, really YouTube is what I'm targeting for my audience, because I know I'm a YouTube consumer too. I've been a paid subscriber of YouTube for many years, and I love it. I really do. I even watch the watch it on my TV at night. You know, I have different settings for, you know, what I listen to during the day, and, you know, different people I subscribe to, and then different people I subscribe to for the evening. I watch shows on my TV. I'm not going to name all those right now, you know, but I really am, you know, a consumer of YouTube, and I really enjoy it. Now, it has problems. I'll give you that. You know, there's nothing is perfect, but it's better than anything else out there. I mean, unfortunately, I wish we had more, you know, but YouTube has first mover advantage. So, you know, that's a huge advantage because they have videos that from, you know, 10, 20 years ago. They just, you know, it just keeps building the library. And it's like I never run out of really cool stuff. And I, you know, my goal is I want to be one of those cool stuff creators that gives, you know, certain people that are looking for the kind of content that I have a good thing to watch that's edifying. And that's my goal. And so my content seems much more mild, I think, than some of the other stuff that I see. And why can't I have the opportunity to fix the problem? Maybe I can. I hope that I can. This and besides, you know, out of all of my content, this video is particularly mild. That's what's so confusing. That they would flag that. It's just two women and myself talking about modern dating. Nothing about hate speech that I can see. You know, in some ways, my channel is specifically geared towards hate towards men, to try to, you know, help that problem. I'm against hate towards anybody. And so I'm really promoting, you know, people loving each other, in the world that I think is really the solution. I think that the left and the right looks past each other a lot. We don't come together on common ground to solve problems. And so I'm really against that. And I'm really against misandry, but also misogyny too. I'm not for either of those. And so I think that my goals are aligned with what YouTube's goals are, at least what they say. That is a core theme for me, and the loneliness epidemic that is affecting both men and women, the whole world. And sometimes I say that I think women they suffer even more from the loneliness epidemic, because for men, being alone and being independent is something that we're more accustomed to. And I'm very much attuned to the woman's plight as much as the man's in the current loneliness epidemic. That's why I've been interviewing women too. So I want not only for the women to be able to understand that we're in this, but also for the men to understand that the women are in it too. And so, you know, I'm always hyper vigilant and careful to point out not all in my assertions about toxic behaviors. That's what I'm pointing out, is toxic behaviors. It's not, you know, anybody as a class that is toxic by nature. It's toxic behaviors in general that I'm very much against, and toxic behaviors are hate. So, but I know how easy it is for people to misconstrue things. And you have to make it extra crystal clear all the time that everybody is an individual. And not all. Everybody is an individual. I say this in every video, and I will continue to, because I'm trying to make that clear. I think that there's one more thing I want to discuss, and that is that in this environment where people make a lot of content, and maybe they break some eggs in the process, and they break the rules of the community guidelines. Again, I'm in support of having community guidelines. They have to. I heard one guy say that if they didn't have that, then certain aspects would take over, and we don't want that either. And I'm not going to get into that, but I think what I hear a lot is, and it's tempting, and I'm trying to not do that, is when there's you don't tell the person specifically what is wrong, and you're not really sure, right, what is, how you got in trouble or what is violated, then that leads people to come up with conspiracy theories. People have to make up an explanation of what's happening, because in their mind, at least the official narrative, quote, official narrative, doesn't add up. And as a consumer of YouTube, I watched for years and studied carefully what people say about their channels getting strikes, demonetized. They even talk about shadow banning. I don't know. That's a conspiracy. I don't know that that's true. Or what all that is. But I've heard all kinds of these theories, and I'm sure that most everybody listening has. And I think that's what you get when there's not, full transparency. And so I'm trying to be totally transparent, and I do this a lot with my friends and stuff. I've heard a million conspiracy theories, and usually things can be explained, and people jump to easy, quick conclusions. But it's understandable why the stated values don't match up with the actual lived experience. That is where these theories thrive. And I have a lot of friends that have a lot of theories. And I think it's really grown in recent times too. I was deep down the rabbit hole like 20 or 30 years ago, with, really kind of researching all that stuff. And, but the older and smarter and more educated and experienced I've gotten, I really don't think that there are a lot of grand conspiracies out there. I just want to make that crystal clear, that I don't really think that there are a lot of really big conspiracies like people do. I think most things can be explained. And I think the main conspiracy is Satan himself. It's just evil working in people, whether you believe that or not. That's how I see it. And I'm frequently explaining to friends opposing views to their conspiracy theories, in spite of them, I'm just that guy, I'm about the truth. So I stick to, well, what are the facts, and I don't jump to these quick conclusions when things can be explained. And so I would like to be able to explain in a logical way how YouTube is acting in reasonable interest to make the best platform possible to other people. And I do think that they are. And just unfortunately, I've been caught in the fray. And hopefully we can move forward and I'll be, extra vigilant as if I wasn't already. But I am, if they listen to this, then we can hopefully solve these problems that's what I want to do, so that we don't have this issue. Maybe they're a big company and they don't have time to deal with that. They just, here you go, buddy. I get that. I just hope that, it doesn't keep happening. And I have a couple scenarios that seem to present themselves that could potentially be at play. I'm not saying any of this is the case, but they checked this particular video, Paris and Diana Epiphany Phase Blues, for content 3 times. They checked it 3 times, and I also asked them to explain to me the 4th time exactly where, and not one time will they tell me where it is. So it's very likely to conclude that they don't want to tell me. I mean, maybe they do, maybe they just don't have time, but they could tell me, hey, it's at this point you said this, right? But I don't know. I don't know why they don't. Other possible issues, they don't want me to have a channel. I mean, that could be. They don't want my channel to grow. Maybe they see the growth and they want to stop it before it goes further. Another issue, maybe there's just somebody who's offended by the content and they're triggered, that is reviewing it, and they have a personal issue with the particular concepts that we were talking about in that particular show. Or it could just be something else that someone's offended by, but it isn't really hate speech to me, that would promote hatred or violence towards a protected class, but somebody just doesn't like it. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know what it is because they're not telling me, and so that causes speculation. And I don't really want to do that, but what else can you do? It's hard not to. So, that's all I'm going to say about this issue for now. I brought out my understanding of it so that you can see with full transparency from my side what I'm trying to do. And my hope is to be able to work with YouTube and make great content for you that is enriching, edifying, that doesn't have any kind of incitement for hate towards any particular group, and helps people to have hope in these difficult times. And I will keep at it in good faith in spite of this uncertain episode. I hope that YouTube will reach out to me and provide more clarity, but if they don't, I'm just going to keep trying to do my best. And anybody who knows me knows that I always dispel conspiracy theories. Being a business-minded person with a business degree and a lifetime working in the real world, in real companies, I always try to explain how really they're usually just more explainable most of the time by a simple thing. It's either a simple thing that people don't want to admit, or it's a complex nuance that people want to oversimplify. But usually things are explainable. I'm happy to explain the facts of the situation with YouTube maintaining community guidelines. I'm happy to do whatever is needed to try to make that happen. And that is why I'm making this video, because my friends and subscribers have a lot of questions and confusion, just like I do. And so with that, I will see you soon. God bless you. Please like and subscribe. And enjoy this music here at the end. It's a great guitar riff. I have the intro and the outro. They're both different. The outro's longer for my show that was recently made by my friend Jared at that last show, who produced the last video, and the credits to him are in the description. I have his permission. He made this just for me. Thank you, Jared. It's wonderful.